Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 10 of The Final How. I'm Zach Feigert.
Bill Sycophus.
And tonight, we're getting into a little different
Tournament time. Yeah.
We are. We're doing one we haven't done before.
I'm crazy for doing this, but since I'm literally just had pneumonia. Yeah. So last time I think we talked last Friday, a week from today, I pussed out. We did a little hunting and got my throat, and but I wasn't lying, was I?
No,
literally.
You're veteran.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm a damn warrior, man. I've been cooped up in a house for a week, literally a week, in a bed, and I've slept so much that literally. Last night, even thinking about, this tournament, I couldn't even sleep. Like, I literally could not sleep. And then you can obviously hear in my voice, I just got my voice back. I went to Ready Med. Yeah, you have pneumonia. I took my antibiotics. I'm still clogged up. I just got my voice back, but I'm still a killer.
Hey. Well, the thing is it's 22 degrees right now. And it's going to get down to like 20. But 5 mile an hour winds, basically 5, 6, 7 mile an hour.
I know, it's almost
so at least
iffy, not enough wind.
Right. The wind's not going to be pounding you.
That's good. So I can take that tonight. But normally we like a little bit, maybe 8 to 10 even.
Right.
But hey, I'm just glad to be out. I've taken my meds. I've done what I was supposed to do. If I had a buddy that just went through this, and if he would have waited and put life on hold, he is 3 weeks in the making and still hawking shit up. So it's like this. I've been told I've been crazy by several people. I may be crazy.
It's an addiction, man.
But I'm going to go do what I love. And if I'm going to go out, I'm going to do what I love. So I'm happy to be here, just like normal.
Yeah, the call-in should be because we're going to have – the nice thing is we're right on a full moon. Or a day away from the moon being full, I believe. But checking my DeerCast out here is starting about 11 o'clock. We're at 30% cloud cover. And then by 2 in the morning, we're going to be at like 70% cloud cover. So,
super.
Well, that's the cool thing I like about that. So, like, when we're playing in our sets tonight, we know that, hey, the moon's probably going to be straight overhead at midnight, 1 o'clock. But if we got 40% cloud cover, we might be able to get away with some spots that would probably be crappy calling.
It's a little different wind. That eliminates some of our, places where we can – I wouldn't say – I don't think there's any place that we've ever been like, guarantee we'll kill one. I mean, maybe 95%, but, it's just like we was talking about earlier. You just don't know unless you get out there and do it. And
right place, right time.
Mama's working tonight, thankfully. Thank you, Mama. But Mama's working. I'm going to go do what I love to do. I'm not going to sit in the house and be like, oh, I'm sick. I've did that for 7 days, literally. So I'm ready to get out and see what's going to happen. I think it's going to be a golden night. I really do.
The way the deer have been moving, the last 24 hours, then like tonight, I mean, they were moving awesome tonight.
Shooter buck.
You had one.
Right. I literally got a picture of the blind and the deer just cruising right by, and we looked at each other and was like, ooh. But we've had that. I mean, it was warm, 3 days ago? Then it got brutal. I mean, then, that big cold front come through, put everything down, shocked everything. I think that it seems like usually after, when you get like a 30-degree temperature drop, that first night's usually not worth a crap calling. I think it shocks everything. But then usually a couple nights after that, man, it gets historically. I hope your theory is correct.
I hope it is too. But every time I'm like, yep, that's going to happen. They're coming in. It's going to be a great night. History tells me that. They proved me wrong.
But what's the one thing that you can say no matter what, whether we go out and get our asses handed to us or we just was like, did we just kill 2 doubles in 15 minutes? We love what we do
Have fun.
and have fun with it.
That's what's nice about this tournament.
The
too.
camaraderie.
Never doing this. It's the How Daddy online Facebook tournament. Normally we do PGT with Josh.
Yep.
And I've followed this Gunners page
I like
now
to
for
just
a year or
do a
two, but it's
variety
like,
of it.
yeah, it's three heaviest dogs is the main pot, and then biggest, smallest, and most are our side pots,
Yep.
and we got in all of them.
And why not? If we're going to do it, we're going to do them all,
Right.
right? I believe that you never know what you're going to.
Right.
What
We could
you-
have a
what
stand.
you're gonna take.
Yeah, about the time. That's what we've always talked about. It's like the time we don't get in the most is the night that we go out and have the best night of our
You
lives.
never know.
And right, or everybody's having a crappy night, and heck, four dogs might win most. I mean, just all depends on how everybody's doing. I think there's 6 teams in the tournament. 8 teams.
Eight
8
teams.
teams.
Which a lot of times it especially in our early years of hunting and getting into these tournaments just because we wanted to, we have a long way to catch up to be profiting money because
Oh yeah.
it's not about the money, let's face it.
No. Well, it's just we're already out.
That's our motto.
Might
right?
as well get
We're
into
already
it.
going to be out all night doing what we love. Why not do a little bit of
I would
good
have.
Christian fun?
Yeah, I would have blown $60 and
we don't,
a case of beer.
Yeah, exactly. We have tournament
Doing
tonight.
things
We're
that are
going
not
hunting,
good
so
for me.
we're not bottling it tonight.
Right.
Not that we're big bottlers, but I love to have a Modelo once in a while.
Right. But no, I think it'll be good, and I might try. I thought about bringing my old trusty tube call with me and howl on it. I really did, just to mix
How
it
away,
up.
son? I
I don't know. I mean,
I'm-
I just
I'm
I
surprised.
like to
I'm proud of you
experiment, but-
because when we used to go hunting in the beginning, I always called, and I just remember the time you were like, "Hey, let me do
let
that."
me do that.
And guess
I
what?
wanna
You've
try to
been
be
doing
cool.
that since.
I gotta regret
Even though
it.
I got to be I'm still the call
I love
bitch.
it.
I got to be the call bitch, but I'm okay with that. It gives me a little exercise. 48 years old, I'm still out here. Not that I'm ancient, but I'll tell you what. After that 40, you hit that 40 mark. That's when you start realizing shit. I mean,
all downhill.
you guys can, let me know your thoughts on that. But I believe at that 40 marks when I started feeling them aches and pains and them, I got a little bit of a sleep. Remember when we used to pull the all-nighters, the 2-day tournaments?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we've done a 2-day tournament in a while just because
Well-
it will take a toll on your
Well,
ass.
it's just like tonight. I mean, heck, the tournaments. I mean, as we're speaking right now, the tournament's
The guys
been
are
going
out
on for
killing
an hour and a
coyotes, and
half.
we're like, well,
Yeah.
we'll give them a head start. Not really, but
To where in the past, hell, we would have been sitting at our first spot, just waiting till
I know.
6
Is
o'clock.
it dark yet?
It's 6 o'clock. Okay, let's make our video. Let's go call. Let's go call. Let's go call and pound it till 6 in the morning. Now it's like, we'll get out there.
We're in the
Plus,
groove, man.
Yeah, we'll get out there and we'll hit the spots. And more than likely, you always have that downtime in the middle of the night. Sometimes, 1 o'clock, 11, whenever it happens to be. Then we might come back, warm up,
Take
then
a
go
shot at
finish the
Tussum?
night. Right.
And get after it again.
Yeah. Why beat yourself up?
If we do, we'll.
We've learned that.
If we do come back for a break and a warm up, we'll jump on the mic and let you know how the night's going. But
Maybe a mid hunt.
you never know.
Here's the way to kind of look at it. If there isn't a mid hunt update in this episode, then we're probably doing pretty damn
That's
good.
right. We're probably putting the hammer down.
We probably are.
But either way, it's about fun. And,
We might not kill the
I don't
first
know if
dog.
any of
I
these
don't
guys
care.
listen to podcasts or whatever, but to all the guys that are out tonight, man, be safe. As Zach says, shoot straight. And as I say, call them till you can't no more.
Hey,
But we're going to do it.
We
I
are.
got a good feeling.
we can call till 6 a.m.
But we do got a little driving, and I'm getting hot because we do got our thermals on already. But I'm ready. I'm ready to get going and get after them. So, what's your final thoughts here before we head out, Zach?
The only final thoughts I have are it's cold as shit. I hope I bring enough hot hands. And
You know what? We're gonna warm up throwing them some bitches in the truck How about that?
There we go.
All right, brother.
All
Let's
righty.
do it.
Let's get her done. Welcome back, everybody. And we have concluded our tournament tonight.
Good morning, Zach.
Good morning, Bill.
What have you been doing for the last 10 hours?
Been trying to, I've been trying to kill coyotes.
Oh, does that? I tell you, I feel pretty darn good for just pulling an all-night bender. I mean, we ran hard.
We did.
I really can't believe that we've got this much energy. No coffee, no nothing. And we ran all night, and it was tough. It reminds me of when we first started.
It was.
So tell me what I'm talking about.
As far as
The moonlight.
Oh.
I thought it would. Listen, it's been daylight all night. Does that make sense?
No. I mean, like the trail camp, like when we came back in here to grab a few things and leave, on the trail cam, on my driveway camera, it wasn't even showing black and white. It was daytime pictures at 3:30 in the morning.
Well, we've talked about when we first started, we wanted that moon. We
Right.
wanted that moon, and we wanted that snow.
Right.
Boy, I didn't want it tonight.
No.
That sucked.
It made it tough with an east wind.
Which
and-
18 degrees with an east wind.
Right.
When I don't ever remember that.
So trying to line up spots with that east, southeast, it was switching, doing funky stuff to where we still had cover. We were putting a call in ways that we've never even, in spots that we've never even thought, just to try to make the wind work for it. And a couple of them, man, it was borderline. Like,
Well, I'll tell you, there were times we had that call very far away from us. Like I said, our winds that we usually like are used to, southwest, west, northwest, north,
Right.
because that's the season. East wind, 18-mile-an-hour wind, a full moon, and it seemed like the moon was above us the whole time.
Oh, it
I
was
mean, we were
bright.
hiding in shadows, fixing our tripods so we could kneel down, stuff that we were out of our element. But I will tell you, we took full advantage of what we had given to us.
We did.
You had a runner, a very good shot. I don't know if
It was
what you
one
had
of-
on the video, but
Yeah, well, I mean, it was definitely, I guess you could say, welcome to the jungle. I mean, he was in that thicket, but I mean, that dog worked. He came from, I don't know what, 1,000 yards when you first seen him.
Let's put this in perspective. We were 150, 100 yards off of 1 mile. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? We were 100 yards off of the road behind an old barn, and he came from the next mile over out of timber and came the whole way.
But as it's like he was, when we first seen him, he was kind of like dead nuts straight in line with us. Then he starts veering off to our left, closer he get, the harder he
But
go
what was
left.
he doing? Working for that?
That wind.
Gosh.
He gets over in that other opposite fence row, then gets down in the thickest, gnarliest stuff, lose him, looking, and all of a sudden I just see this little head pop up, and that dude is as hardcore downwind as you could ever be.
Well, if he would have went any further, you weren't even going to shoot him.
Right.
We run out of. You would have went behind the barn. I literally was abandoned my gun. I mean, it was in front of me,
Right.
but I'm over your shoulder,
Helping me try to
just
spot.
trying to figure out what he was doing.
Right,
That was
because
wild.
we're trying to make as minimal movement. Because we had it. I mean, we were back up against a structure. We were as dark as we could get, but still trying to keep movements all down to a minimum. Anyways, he presented some kind of a shot inside there. I'll put the video up on here so you guys can see
It
it.
floored him. We just lost him.
Hammered him. He spun around, kind of turned. You can kind of see him fall. It's like, okay, yep, he's dead. Got him. Get our stuff. Get in the buggy. Bust ass over there. And that is some of the gnarliest, thickest, swampiest, messiest crap I've ever tried to walk in.
Well,
Had a little bit of blood where we seen, and then hands and knees crawling through it. And,
the thing about it is,
but then, here it is. It's like, well, he's a dead coyote. At the end of the day, that's the objective, is what I like to do around here.
no doubt.
But tournament-wise, man, that would have been our fourth dog.
I know.
And that could have, put
we-
us in
we-
a better
we
running
did
for
good,
something.
But there were some guys that flat out did well.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
the most dogs that was killed was 6.
Right. Yeah.
But what about that male that guy got a male 47 pounds? Wow, that's a big one.
Right.
I think our biggest was
33,
almost 34.
34.
But that's average in my opinion.
Right.
I mean 38 to 40 pound. That's a big dog.
Yeah, well, it's what, a 29 and a half or something.
And we'll start killing them
A
once the
32.
breeding starts.
Right.
We'll start killing males like that because. But there were some hefty females tonight.
They were.
Hefty.
Yeah,
Big
2
old necks.
females and a male.
So I was, all in all, I was happy the way it ended up. But boy, it just lingered. It just
They weren't real, I only heard howling once.
and I think that only one time did. You know
mean,
when
other
a
than
dog's
that,
committed and when a dog's just kind of curious.
Right.
I think we had maybe one that was committed. They all just were cautious. And man, is it me or this year has, and maybe it's the time of year, I think we have started. We've always hunted November, a little bit dabbled in November, in December. Usually we get hard in the tournaments and hard hunting January, February, March, But maybe because we haven't hunted so much in the like we normally do, November, December. Maybe these dogs are. Do you feel like maybe they are a lot more cautious of the wind this time of year? But rather than it's just bitter cold and they're kind of, and they're breeding, just like deer, right? You know what I'm saying? How cautious we are deer hunting into early October and stuff like that.
But come the rut, you're not.
But come the rut and stuff, it just seems like you can get away with a little more. Maybe that's.
They're a little bit more aggressive, especially when they're coming into like a.
But our last few
some kind
times
of fight
out,
scene.
brother.
Oh, dude, they've been.
Wow,
Every
these
one of them
dudes are like it's they're on point. They're not slipping.
Yeah,
They're not just coming in.
they're using
slipping.
every foot of wind we're giving them,
And
using it to the full. It's not like they're only trying to cut that call 50, 60 yards. Like, if we got a wind, a left to right wind or whatever, and it's like, okay, we're going to push this thing up, upwind, I guess, to the left, 40, 50 yards, thinking, okay, if they're going to try to cut down wind of this call, they should be about right in line with us. These dogs are coming downwind of that call 250, 300 yards out. I guess we can kind of back it up to that dog that I shot it for, 432 or whatever when I ranged him back, or her. But that was another good example.
That was a good 400-yard shot. I wish I would have videoed some. Anyway, I wish I would have videoed some of that just because of what transpired after. But yeah, one hell of a shot.
Well, she set out. we seen her come up over that hill, boom, just sat there, sat
yeah.
there. So it's like, okay, so, kind of adjust the call
Classy broad
volume.
out there just
And
sitting.
she just keeps working on out. And it's like, okay, she's getting to a point. I'm feeling the wind hitting me in the ear. So I'm following it, and it's like, okay, there's another circumstance. You're out of the game there the way they were coming. So I'm like, dude, she's getting our
When
win.
she stood up, you were said, I'm taking her.
Yeah, because I'm
Or
like,
something along that line.
Yeah.
And it was boom. And it's just boom.
I was even shocked. I was like, holy shit.
Well, I don't know if if you'll show the footage.
Oh, yeah,
but
I'll
was
put
like,
it on here.
I got her. I got her.
I was
shocked.
Well, because
pretty
that
impressed.
wind was probably blowing 14, 15 mile an hour, which
You had it, but
It was-
you had it a good. It
right.
was almost so. The good thing you didn't have the
Much,
wind
right.
to deal with, but as far as your left and right, but
then, I'm
still,
not afraid. But I
was-
hit her, and I'm like, okay. So she kind of spins around. She sits down. She's trying to move again. I'm like, shit, I better get another one in her. So I wrap another one. Boom. You can see I hit in front of her, behind her, wherever. You just kind of see it. I shoot again. Same
Yeah,
spot. I'm like,
but you got to be in my.
So-
I'm looking at you through the scanner, and you run a little bit.
well,
but set the
yeah. Well, but then I was like, okay, like I'm just going to run out here and try to shoot the bitch. So
I thought you were running out of shell, or
yeah.
running out.
Well,
of
I had some extras in my pocket. So then I take off across the field. I get out there, and I'm like, holy shit. Okay, this is a little farther than I thought. I sit down, I look, and I'm like, okay, I look back. I'm like, I think I cut the distance in half. I'll shoot her right here. Shoot her again.
The last time you shot, I couldn't even hear it. That's how far you were out there.
And then I miss again. Well, I think I miss.
then
And I'm
you
like,
were pinned.
what the hell? And she's just standing there,
I know.
hunched up, biting, because the first one must have been kind of like a gut shot, 'cause she's kind of like biting at herself, but just standing there, and I'm
Well,
like,
it was mid body.
right.
Right
So
near the
then
edge.
I head on out there, shoot again. I'm like, what the hell? I'm missing again. What am I doing? What's wrong? And then I walk out, I get about 75 to 100 yards to her. I'm like, okay, this is my last shell here. Like, I guess I'm going to have to go Rambo if I miss again. Shoot, boop, got her there. She drops. I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck? So I get out, I turn around, I range it. I'm like, holy shit. When we go to do our film, she had four holes in it.
At least 4 holes.
Yeah.
In her ass. You blew her leg in half. You were hitting her, but she wasn't holding still
Right.
when you were shooting. But it was so comical. Like, I've been sick. Well, I said before, I had pneumonia. I kind of feel better. I sound better because I was laughing so hard at you that well, you were out there messing around after you got her down. I was hot. I was gagging and just it was like I got all that phlegm out and I feel better.
I made you healthy.
Yeah, you were very helpful.
Well, I had to get, if that was probably any other time, I probably wouldn't. But it's like, dude, at this point in time of the night, it's like, we need at least 3 for this big 3 tournament. And it's like, man, I've got to get this. I've got to get this dog. I got to.
You did. It was good stuff. But
And it made for good laughs.
and the other ones, singles, come in decent. I don't but still very cautious of the wind. And I know I'm not acting like it's a secret or it's amazing that these dogs are cautious of the wind. But tell me, do you honestly believe that in the last 4 or 5 times we've been out this year, I've had dogs cautious of the wind, but not every damn dog that I've called in.
Right.
Or we've called in. Some of them just don't give a shit, man. They're hungry, whatever the problem is, they're coming in. And I'm talking straight in to where you're thinking, shit, I got to stop these guys. They're going to run us over.
Right.
That's when I love shotgunning. I do. I miss that. I have shotgunned a lot of coyotes. I love it. There's something about having that close range. and doing it. I haven't done it for years. I'm in the thermal
We
game.
probably ought to get out and try it again.
Why not?
Just because
And
it'd be
just do it.
fun.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting to see if you can.
I bet you could. But I always put the call pretty close to me. But
even when we've had the call, like that's why we started putting it out farther away, or trying to get it further up.
well, yes, but I'm saying for the shot.
Because the way they're working in, but like, man, I maybe that night we shot them 2 doubles. That one you probably could have shotgunned because she was coming barreling at that call. There's no doubt there.
We don't have to stop them. You
Right.
just you know what, you don't even make a noise. You
But
know,
that's probably out of all the coyotes we've called in this year. That's probably the only one I can think of that was running over the call. The rest of them were just really working that wind.
I just love it when when I was shotgunning, when they come barreling in and you don't make a sound. The only sound you hear is that shotgun going off, and you just stone them, set them back,
Right.
take a seat. Pretty cool stuff, but
It
good
is.
old days. I all in all though, what is it? Well, it's daylight now.
Yeah, it's 8.
8 a.m. We've not
Yeah.
taken a break. Nothing.
No, we ran hard all
Even
night.
though I feel pretty good.
Stand to stand, took advantage of all the situations that were presented to us. Worked out good.
And all in
Lost
all, it was
the one. I mean, it happens.
Well,
Got
it's
3.
I'll bet you we go over there right now, daytime.
Probably
It's
fine.
that stuff was so thick. You know how they do? They could burrow under. It was just the big mounded. Okay, our cottonwood. We love our cottonwood. So nice and fluffy. Now it's
Right.
nice and scratchy. Oh, the tagalongs, the little burrs, cocklebur. No, not the cockleburs, but the little ones.
A good way
Oh.
to tell you how
Shit's
thick
loaded.
this was for anybody wondering, like, oh, well, why weren't they using their thermals to try to find this coyote when they're in there?
See you.
We're literally standing 10, 15 yards apart in this stuff on our hands and knees or kind of crouched down looking. We couldn't even see each other.
Yeah, I was trying to find you with my thermal.
Couldn't do it.
I could not see you.
So it's like you would have had to been right on top. And I'm not going to lie, it crossed my mind as I'm, walking through this thick grass and briery crap and down it. I'm like, dude, I'm going to come face to face with this old boy. And he's going to be pissed.
If he was alive.
Oh,
that
man.
crossed my mind too. I'm not going to deal with that.
It's like, but I mean, tried to get him, did everything we could. I mean, but all in all, though, that How Daddy tournament, so it seemed like they run a pretty legit deal.
We've done them before. I think we have in the past, right?
I don't think we've ever
we've
done
never
a
done a
How
How
Daddy.
Really?
I don't think I have.
I thought
we
did.
might have.
Dude, we've done a lot of different ones. We actually was going to do another one, but it's a 2-night tournament. And man, even though I feel great this morning, I don't know if I could go get some rest and get up and do it all over again tonight. Just with that's
think I
tough.
probably
It's just
could've.
tough with everything we got going on. But
No, all the guys that were in the group, all the videos submitted, the guys had good kills. Those guys looked like
they did.
hunted
Everybody
good.
hunted
Everything
their
was
ass.
clean.
There was 9 teams, I think. Everybody gave it 100% till the end. So
Right.
kudos to those guys. We don't know them personally. I mean,
No, we don't know one of them. We don't know anybody. in this
I don't even know where they were hunting from. This was
Right.
all online. All online. Don't know, but I'm sure they listen to podcasts. I'm sure whatever, if they ever hear this, hey, good job, fellas. I mean, because it's cool because we get a every time they kill a coyote, you got to submit a video, to make sure nobody's everybody's being honest about it. But just a bunch of good guys out doing what we love to do, so we understand it. You understand the pain. You
Right.
understand. It's crazy, not all the time, but it kind of goes in patterns. When you're starting to kill them, they're killing them. Then it like gets quiet for a few hours. Then it starts killing again. It's almost like, sometimes you get guys that are, I don't know where they're at, Texas or whatever. I mean, they're just hammer jacking them. I mean, But you know, if it's in the same area, it's kind of crazy how the videos kind of flow with each other.
Right.
But all in all, them guys did great.
No, I'd say if anybody's listening to this, like that's one to check out. I mean, that How Daddy Predator. I think it's. Well, let me look it up here.
Yeah,
real quick.
because
Find out exactly the name so people can find it. It's on Facebook.
No doubt, it is. If you're looking for, and we have other guys we use too. This is just what we did tonight. We will address different tournaments that we
Yeah.
do. But tonight we did the Hal Daddy, and it's like I said, it's an online tournament, and you have to.
And he does them weekly. It's How Daddy Predator Hunts.
Yeah. And you-
Gunner Henry is the guy's name that puts them
Facebook.
on
You can
on
get
Facebook.
whatever. Very, very.
He seems to run a pretty good tournament.
It's one of the better ones. What's the other ones that went?
PG tournaments, which
PG.
is Josh. I've had Josh on the podcast.
Okay, yeah, them are great
Nord's
too.
thing.
Them is
His
what
are
we
great,
normally do,
and they're pretty much about the exact same format for the video submissions.
because they do them.
And-
They do them weekly,
Yep.
weekdays. They mix it up. That's what I love about these guys. What they're starting to do, they're mixing it up.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, we're in North Central Indiana. If we have a 7-8 dog night, wow. All right, guys down in the southern Indiana, southern states, man, it's nothing for them to kill 10, 12 dogs. That's just what they do.
Right.
They're not as big as ours, though, most of the time. You know, that's why we like the big threes and, the spreads. And just,
Right.
I love how they're mixing it up. They all have started really mixing it up.
Well,
doing
that's
different
were
things.
cool because, like,
It gives
when
guys
we were
chances to
sitting
be
there debating
successful.
on which tournament we knew we kind of wanted to do one, you know, to start kind of getting back into it. And, you know, Josh, this weekend, he was putting on, I think it was it Biggest Spread?
Yes.
Okay, he was doing it, like the main pot was Biggest Spread. Then I think he did like a biggest and a heaviest and a
Small dog, big
small,
dog. But
yeah.
you just never know.
For
It's-
the side pots. And
Yeah, all the
then
side
this
pots.
gunner had the biggest three with a big and small and a most for the side pot. And it's like, hey, you know, we think we have a better shot at getting three bigger dogs than we do a bigger spread, which, I mean, our spread would have only been 4 pounds tonight.
Exactly.
3.5 pounds. Well, that's not going to win a biggest spread tournament. I mean, you need probably, I mean, it might. I guess it just depends on who's in it, who's around, but
But if you look at it tonight, we just, in every area, we just kind of, but it
And
wasn't
we've
a
been-
lack of effort. It wasn't a lack of mistakes, anything like that. It was a tough night, man.
it was.
Odd, just out of our element, but that's why we do it. We knew that going into it. I'm sick, just a lot of different things going on.
In my opinion, full moon nights, it seems like dogs do respond a little better.
But it's
I
tougher.
think that's, you know,
Element of surprise.
the controversial topic of how good can a coyote see at night. Well, I personally don't think, and I lean more towards the biologists that state that they don't see very good at night. And I think when it's a full moon, by God, they see pretty damn good. I mean, they see better than we do. But I think
On a couple of those kills, though, Zach, we were sitting there going, "Oh man, they're going to see us. What do we?"
Right.
Because we were tucked up against a truck. We were trying to hide behind anything, and you know what? We did good for what we had
Right.
dealt. We did good.
And you just got to take that whole new strategy of just making sure you're getting, you know, tucked up, getting that good back, seeing where that moon is, making sure, you know, where you park, you know, the buggy or the truck or whatever you're in, and reflections, that seems to get you all the time, and shadow, and then trying to adjust for the wind, and then making 10, 15-minute sets and to try to get to the next. Because when we're tournament calling, man, very seldom do I let that call run more than 10, 12 minutes. Unless something's just feeling right.
Is that- I
You're
know,
seeing
it's
them,
a-
they're
I know.
working. Okay,
Or
that's
hearing
one
them,
thing.
you know, whatever.
Right. But if we haven't heard a howl and haven't seen a thing, and I've run through a couple
move on.
quick
We'll
scenarios.
move
For anybody that's wondering, what coals were you using tonight? I'm going to say a little bit of everything.
I
We-
agree.
you
You use
know-
stuff I've never really even,
Yeah.
I've never used, and I've never really heard you use, and I thought it was pretty cool.
I did anything from woodpecker to rabbit to jackrabbit to pheasant.
I know.
and then-
You did.
Well, that hid pheasant. I
I
don't know.
know. I was
Sometimes
like, what? Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that sounds different. But but they were responding to. Well, what?
Pup distress. I
Pup
thought,
distress was 2 of them,
I thought was,
and then the one I lost was Lucky Pecker.
oh, Lucky Pecker.
Oh, Lucky Pecker. That was
Oh,
woodpecker.
Lucky, Lucky.
And then the other one was shoulder belt. But as far
Pup
as
pillage.
pup
What's
pillage,
the what's
schoolyard brawl,
the schoolyard brawl.
I like that one.
I'm telling you, them are just
that one's a little bit more aggressive
But
because it's
man,
got that other
I
one
can't
growling
sit there
it.
and tell someone when to use it, when the best time. You gotta just play them,
right.
and then put some patterns together. We started out slow, but we put some patterns together.
Right. I just kind of always go with that's why I started off with the stress tonight because it was like, oh man, it
did work on one.
It's been cold
Boom.
for 2 or 3 days now. They're probably out, looking for food. And I think the first one came because it's like I did that, nothing, okay. So then I hit a howl, then boom, hit pup pillage. There it was. Like, okay, so maybe pup distress. Go the next stand, hit pup distress, nothing. Okay, go the next stand, nothing. Go the next stand, like, okay, let's try out a prey distress. Oh, well, then it worked. So, that just kind of goes to there was no magic recipe. I just don't ever like to stick to the exact same sequence stand after stand after stand because it seems like
We did get.
That's when you get in
it
a
was
rut.
discouraging when you go 3 or 4 stands and there's coyotes there. I don't care. You don't have to hear them. You don't. We get them on cameras. We
Right.
see them during the day. People see them. They're in the area, and when they just don't give you the time of day, whew, that probably gets me more worked up than anything.
Well, I think we're dealing with some highly educated coyotes. I really do. And, that could get argued one way or the other, but especially now, we've always talked about that, like, man, just how it's gotten tougher. There's a lot more people out there, blah, 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 blah. Well, this year when we're seeing these dogs work downwind,
They're making
religiously,
damn sure. There you go. Maybe you're
200,
onto
250 yards coming to your downwind, like
sitting out there. Mm-hmm. And then
using every tuft of grass and, fence everything to their full advantage. Like they almost want to circle us.
when's the last
before
time
they come in.
When is the last time, honestly, in the last couple years? Because I know we used to. I know this. But in the last couple of years, how many times can you remember where we said, oh, that just dumb pup, come right in?
Right.
You're not seeing that much anymore. And I'll tell you what, they're not old dogs, bright white teeth. You know what I mean? Unless
Oh,
they're
yeah.
brushing every day. I'm telling you, these dogs are younger.
Right.
They're not real big. They're healthy. Bright white teeth, not even stained yet. These are...
Well, heck, when was the last time that we probably, either side of the fence, how many dogs have we killed under 28 pounds in the last season and a half? How many dogs have we killed over 40 or 39 pounds in the last season and a half? A handful on each side.
Yes.
But we've killed hundreds that are between 30 and
Absolutely.
34 pounds,
Absolutely.
35 pounds. Like, it's crazy. 5 years ago, I shot a freaking 54-pound male. 40 pounders were not saying that they were plentiful, but by God, I could say that almost every time we went out, you had at least close to 40, if not
there's no
40
doubt.
plus pound
Absolutely.
dog. And then there was a bunch of, 22 pound, 23 pound pups, in, middle and end of October,
It's
November.
changing, man. I don't know.
It's like,
I
what?
don't.
what even happened to these pups? Just accelerating in growth, or what the hell? I don't know. It don't make any sense to me. But
Well, you know, it's something I want to touch on before I don't know how long we're going to be tonight or this morning, I should say, because you know
It's all going together.
It's daylight. We've got stuff we got to do, but something we're gonna do. We've got some brand new stuff. We got some newer stuff, but and they're really good spots to call. But what we ran into tonight is, oh shit, we can't call there. It's an east wind. Right. Now, we could have went in there in the dark, well, half dark, and tried to figure something out, or you know, get closer to a house or do something but we did not do that. And this is just kind of a helpful hint, I guess, is what I'm throwing down. But we could have went in because we were in a tournament. We could have went to some of these places we know there's dogs, and we know we're going to call dogs, and we know we're going to call multiple dogs. But we chose not to. And we talked about this, and I want to touch on this, before we end. But so we're going to get a little rest, and we're going to go today and do what? We're going to go drive around in the daytime.
Areas.
We're going to scout these areas and know where we can drop a pin, to know where we can set up. We go to the pin. We don't. Yeah, and a lot of times you don't have to go to a pin, man. We know all these roads around here, like
right.
the back of our hand, and we know where we need to be. But it's always that little bush, that down tree that gives you an edge, especially on. Man, we would have played hell trying to find places to hide and get behind or conceal ourselves for these dogs. But we chose not to, even though we had a little money on the line, donations tonight, by the way. But even though
You're welcome to the guys that won.
Yeah. Hey. But we chose not to, really. It wasn't that big a deal to go in and blow a spot out until we're sure about it. So we're going to get a little rest this morning. Then this evening or this afternoon, we're going to go out and we're going to go to these places, and we're going to figure out a couple different win situations, but also where we can get in the best undetected and have a best chance.
That's what I'd have to say.
That's just what we do, though. That's what we love to do.
That's what I'd have to say. That is probably on my mapping side of things what I probably lack the most, and I probably should improve on.
But dude, there's some people that don't even do it.
It's like that full moon aspect, and like I guess generally every spot I've got a north, south, east, and west pin.
Yep.
And then I've got spots that I'm like, okay, hey, if it's a full moon, I can adjust. I kind of, or might have some spots for that.
Sometimes you have to.
But an east to southeast with a full moon.
And a little bit of snow on the ground.
Snow on the ground. 12 mile an hour, 8 feet. I mean, I don't want to say it too much, but, in our team, that's kind of a task I'm dealt with of like looking at the map and knowing, but that fucking wind, man, I'd look at, okay, Deer Cast is usually pretty good. Okay, it's saying, we're going to have a south-southeast. I'd be looking at it, okay, we need to go to this stand over here. And then we go, then sit there, and then you're like, dude,
this wind is not good.
It's hitting us in the back of the head. I'm like, it is hitting us in the back of the head, isn't it? Yeah. And then we think of that, like, okay, this wind's, it's straight out of the east right now. We get done with that stand.
Twice we quit early twice, though.
Remember,
we're like, this is not good. Let's get the hell out. But for the most part, we gave
and then go a mile and a half down the road, 5, 6, 7 minutes, get back out. It's more of a southeast at this point in time, and the wind lied down, and then it's like, okay, well, let's set up over this way. You get set up over that way, then all of a sudden the wind was jumping up to 10 mile an hour, shifting hard back out of the east, and it was like, man, well, we can't call this spot now because the only way this was going to work, we're going to have to sit out over here. Well, that's too open. I mean, when we're literally standing there, and we're at each other. I mean, your shadow's 6 foot long on the ground. It's like, well, this ain't gonna work. But I mean, that's all. That's why we do it. That's the fun part about it.
Well, And we'll touch more on that, and I think that's what we talked about we were going to do, and we're going to start doing some helpful hints and stuff, whether it's a hint to you or whatever, take it how you want. And we're just trying to
just share what we're experiencing.
That's what we do. We're trying to share experiences, trying to help out a little bit. And, hey, if you guys got questions, private message, text, what, I don't care. Hell, we'll always,
and that I
unless
probably
we're hunting,
need to.
if we're hunting, then don't bother. But
Right.
no, anytime, man.
Yeah.
We're there.
Because this is what we do after we get done hunting anyways. We sit around, we talk about it, start cussing and discussing and then being like, oh, I might have remembered or not remember something you remember on a stand or what they did. And it just helps us remember. Whoever you're hunting with, even if you're hunting by yourself, I guess you can talk to yourself, but it's,
We've all been there.
right.
I
But
caught you doing it, bro.
right. Well, technically,
Yeah, I know. I think what's happening now is we might be getting a little delirious.
we're probably
You look a
rambling.
little sleepy.
Oh, dude, I'm tired.
Listen, when I leave here, I
got that wood stove, dude. That's what's killing me.
I know it. Like
Come out that cold, you get done, with the cleanup and, the final check-ins, the ways, cleaning everything up, getting the gear all together. Boom, coming here, hit this wood stove.
you're home.
This heat.
I'm not.
Right.
I get you would tell. I get a phone call from Mama. Where the hell you at, babe? I'm doing a. You know damn well that I'm doing a coyote tournament. I know, but when I wake up and it's daylight and you're not here, I get no text. All right. What will make? Well, since you're in town, why don't you just stop by and get me a salted caramel mocha loco, whatever the hell she drinks. I don't know. Anyway, I just need a black coffee. But
right.
that's what I'm going to do. So I got to go to Scooters and scoot on around and get her a salted
mocha latte,
I don't know. I
salted
made that shit
caramel.
up. But she likes the Caramelicious blended.
Caramelicious,
Yeah,
you say
Caramelicious,
now.
man.
Actually sounds.
I don't know, but I don't drink the shit.
I'm just a Maxwell House.
But she likes it.
2 humping scoops, black.
Well,
Okay.
I'll tell you what.
It was a good time.
I got some advice. Call until you can't no more.
Hey, that's great advice. Mine is get out, shoot your gun.
Yeah.
Everybody, shoot straight.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.